All right, so we'll do 17 and 19. So they'll figure out or finish up set 3. And then what we're going to look at is set 4, and that'll finish up 3-1. Okay, so up to this point, you guys should be good. Look for things that are in common. Okay, 6, 5, and 21. 6 can be divided by 3. 21 can be divided by 3. Can 5 be divided by 3? No. Y squared, Y, no Y. They don't have any Y's in common. They don't have any numbers in common. So they have nothing in common. Always look for that first, though. So see if they have stuff in common. If they don't, it's totally okay. We already know this is a trinomial. It's going to factor. It's going to look like this. Okay. We know it's y squared. So y will go here and here. So what we're going to look at is we need to figure out those numbers. So now, after you watch the first 2 videos, you got 2 steps. So we got step 1 and step 2. And what we need to look at is, remember, you need to know the values of A, B, and C, because in step 1 you're going to do A times C, and in step 2 you're going to use those factors to get B. So B is -5, so we're going to bring that over here. A is +6 times C is -21. We do A times C first, and then what you're going to do is 6 times 21, which is a -126. Okay, so here you will find its factors, and you'll see which set of factors will give you -5 in the middle. By how? Look at this sign, and what you're going to do is you now know on step 2 that you are going to subtract. Whatever my factors are, I got to subtract. So 126 is a relatively big number, so you'd go through and find all of your values. But when I subtract those numbers, I need to get -5. So I know 1 times 126 is 2 possible factors, but understand that those are 2 big numbers, and 126 minus 1, if I do that over here, is not going to be 5. So you got to start getting to the point where you kind of got to figure out, like, hey, what am I looking at for those 2 values? Okay, so what we want to look at when we look at 126 is we just need to find the factors of all of them and see which ones will subtract to give me -5 in the middle. Okay, so you'd run through, start looking at them. 7 times 18, okay, 8 doesn't go in there. I'm checking them off to the side here. 9 times 14, I believe, is 126, as I type them into my calculator real quick just to double check. 10 times 12.6, that's not a whole number. So here, we could also do 2. Now I skipped 2, and I skipped another one, I think, in there. But if you look at it, 2 times 63, these are all your possible factors. And I want to get the one that subtracts out to be 5. So if I take 1 minus 126, if I take 7 minus 18, if I take 9 minus 14, and if I take 2 minus 63, notice how I copy my factors over, and I want to see which ones subtract to give me -5. Well, there's only one that subtracts to -5, and it's this one right here. 126 and 1, if I subtract them, is 125. That's not going to be -5. 7 minus 18 is -11. That's not -5. 2 minus 63 is negative. That's not negative. So it's got to be 9 and 14. So 9 and 14 are the 2 numbers at work. So in your set of parentheses, you're going to go 9 and 14. And we said 9 minus 14 because 9 minus 14 is -5. Thus, that means this number has to be positive. Now, remember, always in your last step, don't forget you got to divide out the A term. Okay, we're showing you kind of a shortcut at the beginning, so this is just the fastest way to do it at the end. So we're going to divide out the A term. We're going to divide out the A term. If it doesn't go in there evenly, great. That's okay. You'll move the bottom up. If it does, great. You may get fractions. Like I think just looking at this one, it looks like they're going to reduce. 9 and 6 can't be divided evenly, but I know 3 goes into both, so we're going to reduce this fraction. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we get 3 over 2. We're going to move the bottom up. So this first set of parentheses is going to be 2y plus 3. Okay. 14 and 6, if I divide them both by 2, 14 divided by 2 is 7. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Does 3 go into 7? No, so I'm going to move the bottom up. So I get 3y minus 7. Now, can you check your answer? You sure can. 2 times 3 is 6. Y times y is y squared. So that works. Check. We can get the first term. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Check. I can get the last term. 3 times 3 is 9y. 2 times minus 7 is negative 14y. 9 minus 14 is negative 5. This works. So you can check it. Okay. All right. And then the last one that we'll look at, so like I said, in this section is hopefully now as you get faster with it, you know what step 1 is. You know what step 2 is. Step 2 is to focus on the b term, so I'll write that down, which is negative 12. Step 1 is to focus on the a term, a times c. So we're going to take 9 times 4, which is 36. It's a positive 36. So we're going to take the factors of 36, and that's going to run us and try to get us to 12. Now, since 36 is positive, you want your factors at the end. You're going to have to add your factors. So what do I want them to get? I want them to get to be 12. Well, I know 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9, 5 doesn't work, 6 times 6. You got it. Some of you are going to know it's 6 times 6 at the beginning. If not, it's okay. Take your factors over here, copy them, 1 and 36, 2 and 18. You don't have to actually physically copy them, but in your brain, know that you're going to take your factors from over here, and now in step 2, try to add them and see which ones add up to 12. Well, there's only one that adds up to 12. 1 plus 36 is 37. Nope. 2 plus 18 is 20. Nope. 3 plus 12 is 15. Nope. 4 plus 9 is 13. Very close, but nope. 6 plus 6 is 12, so we've got it. Now, the signs don't match, but we'll be able to get that here in a second. Okay? So you're going to take your 2 sets of parentheses. We know they were x squared, factors into x times x. We know we said 6 and 6. Now, what I want to do is I want to add those two together. So 6 plus 6 gave me positive 12, but I want negative 12. So we're going to go negative 6 plus negative 6. We're going to take the a term, we're going to put it on the bottom. The a term is 9, the a term is 9, and you're going to reduce and move the bottom up. Okay, so what goes into both? So these are the same, and I'll talk about this here in a second, but they're both the same fraction. So if you divide them both by 3, 6 divided by 3 is 2, 9 divided by 3 is 3. So if I reduce both of these fractions, they'll reduce to the same thing because they are the same fraction. 2 doesn't get divided by 3 evenly, so we'll move the bottom up. So we'll have 3x minus 2. We'll have 3x minus 2. Okay, this is a perfect square trinomial. Why is it perfect? Because perfect means same. Same, 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 same. So that means this is a perfect square trinomial. Okay, so know the difference because up here on 17 is just a trinomial. How do I know it's just a trinomial? I know it's just a trinomial because I have 3 things, but it's not perfect. It's okay to not be perfect. This one is perfect because your parentheses are exactly the same. This one is not because they're different. Okay? All right. So next video we'll talk about set 4 and how to work with the difference of 2 squares.